2026, year number one. Another context to consider is that it's a year of initiations. Initiations, 1 through 9, right? So this year of initiations, it's founded on the cardinal signs. The cardinal signs as the initiators. The cardinal signs naturally square to each other. All right? And this is what we want to keep sight of. The squares lets us know that they are non-negotiable factors that have to be respected. Non-negotiable factors that have to be respected. If we fail to, it requires sacrifice. Right? So when we don't have discipline or obedience, it's going to cause sacrifice. That's going to be the price to go forward if we fail to remember that. Now, the 4 cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Of course, this is the Aries and Libra axis, Capricorn and Cancer axis. Aries marks the start of spring, March 21st. Cancer starts the summer, June 21st. Libra starts the fall, September 23rd. Capricorn starts the winter, December 21st. All right? So these are starters, initiators. Year number one is initiation. Now, because Saturn and Neptune is at Aries, that indicates what it is that we are initiating. Capricorn is the infrastructure that materializes that initiation. It's an opposition, okay, to Cancer, which is what nurtures that process. It's an opposition to Cancer. So when you see oppositions, it means that there has to be incorporation to balance. Incorporation to balance. That's the solution for oppositions. You incorporate to a balance. So the accountability that's required, the character that's required, the discipline that's required, the long-term commitment and stamina, the long-term perseverance that is going to take to transfer the energy of Pisces over into Aries that we have conceptualized and now must materialize through Neptune and Saturn Aries, 2.5-year feat. Okay? It's going to require some strength and grit, that number 8 energy. And we only spoil the spirit. We bring the spirit to ruin when we betray Cancer, inner child, the matriarchal mother, our moral commitment and duty to the self and inner child and to others, the family, the community, those entrusted to us. Our failure to manifest care to the self or to others. So, going forward, we cannot make the mistake of falling back into old energies of the corporate world. The corporate world that had you to neglect and overlook your health, neglect and overlook your well-being, neglect and overlook your emotional status. Rather or not, you have managed to instill in your daily routine, your 6th house, quality care to yourself, quality care to your children, quality care to your husband, quality care to your wife, quality care to your family, quality care to those who need you to show up. This corporate model of America, of the West, this corporate model of unum sanctum, spread throughout the world through doctrine of discovery and manifest destiny from the Catholic Church and Khazarians, this very dark, cold, heartless, inhumane energy The same energy that brought so many animals to extinction, destroyed nature, corrupted the culture of humanities all over the earth. We are learning to come out of that. That is what we are coming out of in this next phase. We're introducing a new way to see the world. And this new way of seeing the world, it has us to turn our back on the Catholic Church ideal. It has us to turn our back on Vatican's ideal, on Khazarian's ideal, on white Christian nationalism's ideal, on Unum Sanctum and Paul. Shadow 8, the Ahriman impulse. We're turning our back on that and we're bringing life back into life. We're bringing nurturing back into life as a priority, as a non-negotiable. It's not something to brag about anymore or to flex about anymore. That you go sleepless nights trying to build or create something. You deprive yourself of rest. You don't play with your children. You don't love on your wife or you don't love on your husband. You don't sit with your family members or go see about them, visit them, spend time with them. The little things. You don't give yourself peace and quiet. Quiet of mind. You don't remember to incorporate the things that gives you sanity and peace and security emotionally. We're not allowed to go back into that. Betraying our moral commitment. Our inner child is screaming at us. Don't drink like that. Don't party to that extent. Don't do drugs to hide away from something. Don't be promiscuous and disrespect your body. Listen to your intuition and your gut, not going against it in order to deliver oxytocin to the body, dopamine to the body. Signing up and consenting for toxic circumstances and experiences that you know is deteriorating your soul, and your inner child warn you about it. And then when the consequences come, you want to be a victim. We're resetting how the earthly culture is to be. We're bringing it back to matriarchal culture, planetary, across the globe. Because this is how it was before Khazarians and white men spread over the world, bringing something different. This is the way that it used to be before Khazarian slave ships and conquistadors came out of Europe from the Catholic Church, spreading Unum Sanctum and destroying matriarchal cultures, matriarchal religions, matriarchal tribes all over the earth of brown and black people. And yellow too. This is the way it used to be. This is what we used to be upon. And that's returning. These corporate models of working yourself to death, killing yourself, giving all your talents and your strength to a corporate machine and not purpose, not fulfillment, not what serves the people, not what answers the needs of people, not what comes up with the solutions for the people, not what furthers humanity ahead. But in order to have an end goal, to have more money to consume and consume and consume, to have something to brag about. Look at my watch, look at my European fashion, look at my fast car, look at my big old house. No, that's not what this energy is for. We're going back to the origins and matriarchal reality. Our conscience is superior this time. Understand that. Square to Cancer and Capricorn axis is Aries and Libra. That's you and your relationships. It's square, which says that you and your relationship status it must take full consideration of the balance of security and infrastructure in your life and infrastructure in your inner status. You must take that into consideration. It also suggests that your relationships and yourself must accommodate these processes and these intentions. It must accommodate. Aries is square to Capricorn. That's a square. So no matter what planets move through there, the nature of the algorithm, the nature of the house itself, it demands our full attention, compromise, and some sacrifices. What does that look like for Aries? Aries is where we want to be impulsive. It's our identity, our self-determination. It's where we want to take up space and we want to make noise. We want to initiate process, creation, action. We don't want to ask permission. We just want to go. But Capricorn says, that's fine, but do so with accountability. Cancer says that's fine, but do so with moral commitment. So the first house must always be in obedience to accountability and moral commitment. Otherwise, you are violating. You're in contempt with your first house and how you are using the energy of your first house. In particular, the sign at your first house, the zodiac algorithm. It's in consideration to the zodiac algorithm, of course, to the 10th and 4th house. One and the same. And that has specific logistics to it. So whatever initiatives that you're making, they have to agree with moral standards and limitations. They have to agree with the thresholds of your inner child and the sensitivities of your inner child. They have to agree with your moral compass. They have to agree with you maintaining a clear conscience in what you do. It has to agree with you maintaining self-care and not self-exploitation. That's the square between Aries and Cancer. The square between Aries and Capricorn, it manifests lessons in entitlement. You are not entitled. What are you willing to work for? What are you willing to go through all of the steps, processes, and procedures to obtain? Because if you're not willing to go through all of the steps, processes, and procedures to attain a certain goal or objective, you are nothing but a criminal. You're an entitled criminal. And your assumptions are not just. That's what leads to criminality, cheating, lying, stealing, manipulating, abusing others, taking what's not yours, assumptions, self-victimization because something didn't go right. Understanding that regardless of what the first house in Aries wants to accomplish, there is a character that opens the destiny. Initiative is not enough. You have to follow through until that initiative becomes character upon you. Your character is what equals destiny. Character. So if you're not willing to rise to the character of what gives you access to a certain outcome, you're delusional and you're entitled. If you're not willing to put on the discipline and the work ethic to obtain, you have assumptions and entitlement. And this is what we can't do because that leads us into criminality. This naturally is in opposition to Libra. Opposition suggests that, again, we have to incorporate, finding the balance. Your relationships are key and critical to you being able to drive the head of the knife. Aries is the tip of the knife. Aries is the blade. But the handle of the knife is Libra. That's what allows you to drive those initiatives, your relationships, the support in your relationships, the security from your relationships, the enlightenment from your relationships, and the co-creative opportunities from your relationships. All of that pours into. And what does Libra require? Our awareness of ethics. Okay, in our awareness of ethics, we're coming from our own moral convictions, self-awareness, and our ability to intuit the moral convictions and self-awareness of others, sensitivities of others, so that we can find the common ground in ethics, which is to reduce the offense, minimize the injuries, soften the sharp edges, make it as painless as possible, harmless as possible, just and fair in all of our dealings. This being the balancing factor to Aries is for us to dress our first house with a civilized wisdom, a wisdom of civics. The first house must lead with civics. It must have and incorporate the wisdom of civics, which is ethical wisdom. Without civics and ethical wisdom, we become barbaric, offensive, harmful. There's much to apologize for. We bring much karma and bad luck into our life, and we compromise the integrity of our relationships, missed opportunities. There's a lot of damage. We lose contracts because, after all, that's what the seventh house is. Your contracts, your open contracts in life. Societal expectations are there at the seventh house. What others expect of you. With Libra being square to Capricorn, it's square to Cancer. This has us to understand that the expectations that others has on you, it cannot cause negligence to what we know we are accountable to the character that we know we must fulfill, the discipline that we must fulfill, and the responsibilities and duties, 10th house, that we must fulfill. The expectations of others cannot cause us to fail to do that, to rise to that. And through Cancer, the square, it cannot cause us to betray ourselves, to betray our inner child, to betray our emotional needs, our emotional security. It cannot cause us to betray our need to advocate always for the self. Because other people, through the seventh house, want to guilt trip you, shame you, hold expectations to you that do not identify you and your purpose, your status, your mission. Assuming judgments over you and entitlements over you. You're going to have boundaries for this. Boundaries must go between Libra in the 10th house and Libra in the 4th house. There must be boundaries. In your career ambitions, your ambitions and engagements with the world, and the route of discipline and accountability that takes, there must be boundaries. And there also must be boundaries from the home front, the family, the community, to maintain the balance on the scales. So, considering that, I want you to look at the signs and energies that you have at these 4 placements. And remember that the North and South Node during the year 1 is going to transfer over to Leo and Aquarius axis. Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node. With Leo South Node, we're going to learn to let go of our need to be the celebrity, our need for attention and validation, our need for everything to be about the self, the narcissistic dispositions in us to let it bleed away. And through the North Node Aquarius, we're learning that it's about us. It's about what we came to accomplish and what we came to do, what we came to serve with. It's about the people. It's about the necessity that we have the capacity to deliver. It's about the value that is with us, not me. We're making it about the focus that we have and coming down off the mountain of Capricorn with a gourd of water to pour out to humanity. And this becomes a new focus, not the self. Your relationship with society, your relationship with the people, and what role you're playing in bringing meaning, solutions, healing, value, innovation, inventions, a way forward, answers to cries and injuries. It's your revolutionary role, your rebellious streak, and letting go of self-importance.